What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Deceptor Lab. This is your boy Freeze at you with a con highlight video for the newest bot that's coming to the game this week as part of the endurance event, and it's going to be for the Decepticons. On our side, it's going to be Knockout, and on the Autobot side, it's going to be Skids. So I'm going to go run through some gameplay with them, talk a little bit about stats and everything like that. You know how we do out here in the Deceptor Lab. So just give me a second to set up, and I will be right back. All right, so we're going to take our first look at Knockout. And so this is what you can kind of expect. I've got his stats up here for the level 65, 5-star. And I'm going to actually go into the breakdown a little bit so you can see the damage. I got up there at 914.1. That's with Fracas installed. And then you can see the health at 15,500. So all of those are with the perks. So now we get that stats breakdown that we can look at. And so what you actually see is a base damage of 602.2 maxed out. And then we get a 32% power core bonus with that 5-star Fracas. If you hadn't seen my video on Fracas, check it out, man. I actually pulled the 4-star in the event. I took him up to level 9, I believe it was. Because I have been holding on to Combat Spark for a little bit. I'm going to start holding on to it again, as I plan on holding for when the batch that has Fracas, I plan on holding for it. But yeah, Titan Tree Tech perks and stuff. Now I want to talk about the stats breakdown too, because one of the big concerns for Knockout has been the health portion. And actually, let me go back to that real quick. And so there's been, in some of the chats that I'm a part of, there's been just some different images going around, and basically showing that the health on the bot is at about 10,000. It's actually a little bit higher than that. The image that you guys were looking at were without Tech Tree perks, I believe. And so it comes out to, as it stands right now. Now, here's my caveat to this. This is like the last day of testing that I'm making this video. And so Space Ape did already come out and tell the entire TFEW community, or the subscribers to them on Discord, that there's a possibility that the health points go up. Playtesters asked for it to go up. I agree with them that it should go up. So, but I won't be mad if it stays like this, because this is a really good bot. So this is the pairing. This is the primary pairing that I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the ability. So the ability right now, level 10, eventually going to get an ability 11. Space Ape already calling for an ability 11 for Knockout. And, well, they said a G1 core, but what they mean is it's going to be a bot specific core, since Knockout isn't from G1, he's from Prime Universe. So they're going to give him a bot specific core. And they already talked a little bit about it. They said that it might have a slowdown ability, additional range, a couple other things that might be involved with the core. So they didn't want to extend the range out too far on the original bot, which I totally understand. But this Toxic Strike, I got it at level 10. Cost is 5+3, and you can call in and strike at a nearby location to deal 4,820 damage in an area over 10 seconds. And deals 1.5 times damage to walls, minions, and outpost bots. And so that part for me is actually the part that's really huge, just because I like to use, as you guys have seen my videos, you know, I like to use the sack strategy. And usually with that sack strategy, I draw all those bots to this guy right here. I draw him into Impactor, let him soak up all the damage so the rest of the team doesn't have to. So what I'm thinking in concept, just in theory, that Knockout can go in there and just really whittle down those really strong outpost bots and make it easier to knock them down. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll do a play test of that in a second. But we'll take a look at him in the showroom, him and Fracus. And they got some good concept art for him, so nothing to be upset about there. Let's see if we can get him to transform. And boom. Yeah, he's actually one of my favorite characters from that series. Now, a couple of concerns that players had in terms of lore. They were worried about, they say, well, he was a medic. They probably could have did him as a medic instead of Flatline. The apes didn't do that, so that's where we're at, man. They decided to make him a gunner, so we got a gunner. And the apes are going by class and trying to see how they can make each class better. And so there was a lot of conversation. We actually had an old concept that they used from Texas Hammer to develop this particular bot. So I was talking to him yesterday. We were at war with each other, and he's really excited. I'm excited. We're both going for the bot. All right, so I got a modified version of my war team in here. So here's the big thing, and I want to talk about combos because Space Ape is leaning more towards us not doing one shot damage anymore. They're trying to lean more towards combos. So for that reason, I added this guy to my team. Now, Acidstorm, they only got him as a 4-star, but a couple of things I'm looking at here, he's really, really cheap. And so the cost at 3+2 combo type ability, everybody looked at him and said, man, he's not that good. And honestly, the event we got him from, it was a chance event, I believe. So it was real easy to get him. And I think he's going to pair really, really well with this bot. And so if you look at it, the big thing about his Acidstorm ability, especially up there at level 10, is that you can increase fire and acid ability damage received by, by 20. And that's over 15 seconds. So you can do that for 15 seconds. So now I'm looking at this thing, and so I got Acidstorm to kind of multiply the damage. I've got the knockout that's going to deliver acid damage. And so for me, I said, well, I'm looking at him, and I rarely ever see this kind of damage on a 4-star bot. And so I'm looking at him, I got him at 956.3. So you got power core bonus. So yeah, I got Caliburst out here on him. And this is one of those bots that's really, really underrated. Just because, people haven't been using fire and acid damage. I mean, if you guys listen to me, I hadn't been using it heavily. But let's take a look at the bot by itself first. And then we'll take a look at a bot and certain combos so you can see what I mean. Because right now, I've been talking you guys to death. So let's get it. Let's see a little bit of the battlefield action. So right now, I'm on the test account. I'm using just a base trial, and I just want you to see what the ability looks like. So I'm just going to drop him down here on the bottom. And this range that you're looking at, this was actually an increase. And one thing I like, and when I was talking to Dale about this bot, he was talking to us play testers, he was saying that Fracus would repair real well. So when you look at that ability, and now I got acid coming from Fracus, and over time, it wears stuff down a little bit. And like I said, this is one of those abilities I think it works better in support. Like you see, it took a little bit of time to take down that Energon storage. And it's taking a little bit of time to really get a lot of stuff down with that special ability. So like I said, it's a support special ability, right? So let's go back and let's try to combine them with Acidstorm. And you're going to notice that it's a really, really night and day difference. And with Acidstorm, it's even going to be even better because I'm going to pair him up, like I said, with Caliburst. and I'm gonna try to maximize. I'm gonna try to squeeze every last bit of that acid damage that I can get out of there. Now I'll tell you one thing, and before I do that, let's take a look at the Titan tech tree real quick, because one of the things that I want to highlight, and one of the reasons that I was kind of opposed to acid and fire damage for so long, is actually that is a defense perk, I believe. So we got this ability right here, this Titan perk, defense perk. Increase defense's resistance to fire and acid damage by 25%. So when I was running that base trial, you're also seeing that 25% reduction in damage. This is important because this is why I feel like Acidstorm was really, really low cost, so that you can try to use them in combination with other bots. Like neither one of these abilities individually for Acidstorm or for Knockout is incredible by any stretch of the imagination. But let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so Knockout, Acidstorm. I'll throw a healer in there to keep them up. And and I think my software just froze. So give me a second. I'm gonna go to the lab. I'm gonna fix this up real quick. But I think that, and it's been happening. I think I'm just gonna have to screen mirror, and it won't take that long. But I hit a screen mirror, and I think I'm back. All right, so let's see. We'll go to the game screen. All right. Cool. So sorry about that. I should be able to run off a screen mirror. I always keep backup plans for stuff like that because my software been going haywire, but it is what it is. All right, so we back to what we were doing. We were going base trial, Knockout, Acidstorm. I think I had Hook in there as the healer. So let's take a look. And I'm gonna jump out of the game screen for a minute. So this time I'm gonna run Acidstorm's ability first, so that I can maximize the damage that I'm getting. And let's see the difference. And I just want to focus on the damage for everything else that's happening up there. See if we can get. And it got a little bit more damage. Yeah, it took a little bit of stuff down. So that's kind of more what I'm looking at. Plus, when you pair that with Acidstorm, you also are getting the anti-healing. Now, it's two other parts we got to look at this when we look at Knockout's ability. And part of that is, so minions and outpost bots is doing more damage full, and also to walls. So one of the things that I was thinking about, so you could go and do volatile mixture with that, and I'll actually go throw that on there real quick. I didn't really care for it too much, but you know, as with most gunners, it's always an option. I prefer to use Alchemist because I like to get some healing for them. As we already discussed, that healing is a little bit, the health is a little bit low. So the healing, I feel like it's going to keep them on the battlefield. All right, so we jumped up to 5,567 as compared to where we were originally at 4,820 damage on a maxed out volatile mixture core. And that's one of the reasons why I was just like, do I really want that, or do I want healing? I thought about doing wall busting up there as a option for front loaded bases. I hadn't actually tested that out yet, but I'll probably run that. I'll probably just actually run that when I get around to it as a, I'll probably run that on my TikTok or something like that, just because I mean, like, I had to go build up a power core for that. But it's, long story short, there's options. And so that's what I'm looking at. I love to have the options. I love support bots, as many of you already know. I'm not a huge fan of acid and fire, but I am going for this particular bot. So let's use them in a regular battle. All right, so we're gonna use that same squad. We'll take them into the prime zone, and let's see how it shakes out. Now, for me, what I would like to get out of this bot is I just want to get those outpost bots down as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna go for a ramjet sack here. And here the big thing is I want to snag at all these minions, all these sharks, and let's see how quickly we can get them down. Just, wow, they tore Impactor up. And that's more what I was looking for now. Now it's kind of hanging around there a little bit. And really, I'm just demonstrating how quickly the outpost bots get away. But yeah. Yeah, they got him down pretty quickly. They got him down really quickly. And that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's kind of what I'm looking at for, in terms of where I think he's really strong at. And I think that during testing, one of the things that people really didn't look at heavily, they didn't look at the fact that, you know, you can take down outpost bots really quickly with this thing. I think that's really the selling point for me, especially for any of the guys that use, you know, straight up walk teams, sack teams, anywhere where you can draw outpost bots to you. I think that's where it's really going to be of benefit. And so that's what we're kind of looking at in regards to knockout and skids. So who all's going for the bot? You know, if you're going for the bot, go ahead and say something in the comment section. I'm going for the bot. This is the first time that I've gone for, since they started changing the LB format. This is the first time that I've gone for one, so I'm excited. Hopefully at the damage point that they have up there, hopefully it winds up being pretty good, man. But you know, let me know what you think about it based off of what you've seen so far. And as always, don't forget to shoot a like for the video. And if you're not a subscriber, because right now about 60% of the people that watch my videos are non-subscribers. So yeah, if you don't want to miss any content, go in there and subscribe. And you can set your alerts so that you never miss any of my videos. So I will be back tomorrow with the live stream. I'll probably do a little bit more gameplay with Knockout on the live stream, only because Space Ape says whatever they come out with tomorrow is supposed to be final, and the developers are still doing a little bit of work with it. So look to see more up there. I always like to do the individual videos just so people can see what it is I'm seeing. But yeah, man, I'll see you tomorrow on the live stream. I'll bring Knockout with me, and I will see you guys on the battlefield. Freezius out.